everybody, I'm Lori and I have some really exciting things to show you. Follow me. I want to take you through a tour of our new administrative offices upstairs. It is the most beautiful space ever, and I am really happy to say that in the 35 years I've worked here, I actually have my own private office for the first time ever. And this is what it's going to be like. And this beautiful room is our conference room, meeting room, classroom, and when we get to the place of being able to have classes for the community, this room is going to be utilized for that. This space is just exquisite. We have the Western Hills view of the western side of town, and it's beautiful. And this project has come together with a lot of exciting aspects. We used all local contractors and subcontractors. This is our 45th anniversary year, and there's a lot to celebrate, not only being 45 years in business in our local community, but celebrating this amazing event that we have completed that we really would love for you all to celebrate with us. So I'd like to take you back in time. I have 35 years of stories and beyond. So a lot of us in the 1970s moved to Ukiah. The Back to the Land movement was the big thing. And a lot of us, including myself, lived out in the hills. And there was this need for buying fresh organic food, natural food. A group of people in our community got together and a buying club was formed. Well, as time had passed on, a few people had a brainiac idea is, wow, we should have a store. This is great because there's really no place to get wholesome food in our town.
Hi, I'm Greg Young. I'm co-op member number 9. And I joined with my roommates in 1976, and I've been a member ever since. We joined because we wanted to get, in those days, bulk food and occasionally some organic food. In 1979, with the Organic Food Act, we were asked to, there was a committee in the Bay Area in Central California who was working on getting that legislation passed, and so I was invited to go over and testify at the state legislatures. This might not have happened if it weren't for co-ops and small health food stores, all those years supporting the small industry as a group.
So the short of the story is that we found a location on Goby Street, ironically where we are now, past the railroad tracks, and it was an old funky garage with a dirt floor. But the decision was to find a bigger location and expand our services as much as we can, because we saw that there was really a need in our town. We had big bashes in our parking lot that celebrated music, with having these crazy garage sales where community members could bring all their wares and sell their stuff in our parking lot. And it was really well supported by the community because we all gathered together and sold all of our things. And in the evenings, we celebrated by having dances and music and potlucks.
It was a lot of fun. It was always back in the hills. I remember talking to one man, and he was like a nuclear physicist who had dropped out, and there were just all sorts of other people just having a good time. And so Mendocino County for quite a long time has been a real melting pot of especially counterculture people. Came in and kind of invaded and went back to the land and raised their families, and here we are today.
So we moved over to the Perkins Street location that we shared with Real Goods at the time, and we had expanded a lot of the products there. We got into fresh produce, and we had a huge bulk food department and shelf-stable products and dairy and such. And the building was really funky because it used to be a beer distributing warehouse. So there was no heat, no air conditioning. It was the bottom of the barrel, but we were so excited that we had this new space.
I remember going to the old co-op back on Perkins with my mom, And I just remember the sensory experience of that store, the way it smelled. It smelled like spices or something, but that's what I most remember about it. I've since brought up my children shopping here at the Co-op, and my daughter, who's now 12, she used to love the little mini shopping carts we used to have, and has always loved the smoothies and wants to get one every time we're shopping.
The board of directors at that time, we really looked at our sales. Our sales were growing, and we had much more community support to think about finding another location for the Co-op. Found the building that we're in now that was for sale. So that took some years with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and lots of meetings and analyzing our finances. And we got support from the local Savings Bank of Mendocino giving us a loan. And I'm ever so grateful for that, because they really saw that we had a large opportunity to grow our business in the community.
I enjoyed working at the Co-op a lot because I'm from Oaxaca, La Ciudad de Oaxaca, Mexico. And I had the joy and opportunity to grow up working and helping in my dad's gallery and bookstore. I arrived in Ukiah around 2005 with my family, and I got the first job here in town, and it was at the Co-op, where I worked approximately 9.5 years. That was something that for me wasn't just like a job, it was kind of like taking me back. And I made lots of friends here, I learned a lot of stuff, and I continue to cultivate some of that. Family, friends, community is very important to me, and I like to continue doing some of that fun stuff.
I'm Chris Jepson, and I am the Wellness and Grocery Manager here at Ukiah Natural Foods. I moved to Ukiah after college and a short stint in corporate America, and then I landed at the Old Ukiah Brewing Company. That was probably my biggest introduction to all of this. They were so hardcore about local and organic and seasonal, and I had never met people who cared that much. I didn't know it was possible. And cooking there and having those restrictions really opened my eyes to what natural food could be. At that time, I started shopping at the Co-op, just in my own personal life. I met my wife, who was a longtime Co-op shopper, and then at work, when I would be shorted or run out of things, I would often have to come down here on my bike to get new ingredients.
Well, I'd say one of my favorite things about the Co-op is the commitment to quality. And I just trust that everyone working here is really working hard to create a beautiful place that's in honor and respect for the earth and giving its best to our community.
So during normal times, we maintain a fairly vast network of suppliers, little direct vendors, huge distributors. And we do this so that we can have a really neat, unique mix of products. And when things went bad during March and then the months that came after, we were very, very fortunate to have that network in place just to source normal items. The demand for flour increased because everyone was baking at home. Our national distributors weren't able to supply flour, and we were able to pivot and draw from the Mendocino Grain Project. They increased the amount of flour that they ground for us, delivered it in person, and we were able to sell flour when we couldn't get it on the semi-truck.
There was one day when it closed because of all the cleaning that was happening after a positive test, and it was almost a scary moment thinking, wow, this is a large part of our food chain. And I was just so thankful the Co-op really was trying to get up and running and keep open and be a safe place for people to still have access to all this wonderful nourishment.
One of the things about the Co-op is you come in and there's a huge selection of nutrient-dense, organically grown food, which in most cases, not all, has been shown to be healthier and better for people. Overall, the organic food industry is booming, It's been, for 20 years, the fastest growing sector of American agriculture. And again, that has been the health food stores and the co-ops who served as the base and kept that going, and they have something to be very proud of that. The good old days in agriculture, these are the good old days. You do have GMO issues and things, but otherwise, the use of pesticides and all the large companies are getting into safer and safer pesticides. The biological pesticide movement is expanding rapidly, and these are the good old days.
Hi, my name is Mary Lou Leonard. I am the president of the board of directors of the Ukiah Co-op. I want to take this time to welcome back Leo Buck, who will be serving another 3-year term on the board of directors, and thanking profusely Krista Robinson and Lorena Calvo Evans, who will be cycling off in May. We will miss them both. They have been incredibly valuable members of the co-op, and we thank them. So I want to highlight some of the innovative projects that have happened that are really a result of the strategic planning that has happened with the co-op board and staff over a number of years. The first, and which is really obvious, is this incredible new space. I think one of the most important things is the degree of thought that went into this, the amount of money that was saved, so that we were able to build this incredible project without having to go into debt. In addition to that, I want to really highlight the robust marketing that has been happening, the new billboards that are out on the highway. I also want to, of course, talk about the web cart, the ability to order online and to be able to pick up your groceries without ever having to come into the store. And then probably the last in that little segment that I want to talk about is the tremendous work that the staff has done to take care of not only themselves but the community as a whole through these really challenging public health times. They were really out front, probably in front of many other businesses in the community, and often surprised public health by the number of innovations that they were putting into place. The last thing that I want to do, because it's you as members who are probably watching this video first, is to thank you. Really, 75% of our business comes from members. But the co-op is open 7 days a week. Anybody can shop during that time, and we are grateful for any business that comes into the co-op. But we encourage you as members to think about the value that you have gotten as a member, and whether you have friends, family members that you could encourage to become members, or maybe you want to give them a birthday present or another kind of holiday present as a starting membership to the co-op. And again, I'm sorry that we're not having an annual meeting this year. We'll hopefully have one next year, and thank you for continuing to shop at the co-op. This is really the jewel of the community.
Just wrapping it up, I want to say that hopefully next year we'll have a big celebration, big pachanga, where everybody will be able to mingle together and eat some good food and drink some good wine and perhaps even dance.
So a heartfelt thank you to all of the member owners of our co-op, and it's been a pleasure working at the co-op for the 35 years that I've been here. Let's celebrate everybody today, so thank you so much.